Hi, everyone. In the driver's seat today, we're talking about planning for and integrating EV infrastructures into dealerships. Joining us is Sam Danello, CEO of Future Energy, headquartered in Troy, Michigan. As a lifelong Michigan native and entrepreneur with a background in the energy sector, he co founded Future Energy in 2011 with Michael Abraham Jr., Sam's best friend since the second grade. By 2016, Future Energy pivoted to EV charging technology, recognizing the growing demand in especially the automotive and hospitality industries. Under Sam's leadership, Future Energy has successfully integrated EV charging solutions for dealerships across North America with its unique 360-degree approach that empowers dealers to easily control their EV infrastructure investment long term. Sam joins us today from Troy. Welcome to In the Driver's Seat, Sam.
Thank you so much, Emma, for having me.
It's great to have you here. So, first off, Sam, congratulations on such a big moment at this year's NADA. I know you were one of a very select few that the US Secretary of Energy personally visited out of all 600 NADA show exhibitors. Plus, you were able to give her a demonstration of the Future Energy Interface platform. I think this speaks volumes on why Future Energy is so special. Tell us about how your positioning sets you apart and the business focus areas of Future Energy.
Thank you, Emma. Yeah, it was great to be at NADA. It was awesome to see everybody. It was a great show. Future Energy is very passionate about being a guide. We help people plan, install, and manage their new energy technologies. And I think for dealers, this really means helping them optimize their EV readiness and EV investments to ensure that they get the best ROI. Our job is to help them find creative ways to get these projects moving forward, whether it's through financial incentives and other ways. The other thing we're really focused on is how is electrification going to disrupt their business, right? So the result of that disruption, the result of that planning is the technology that's needed to best run their business and really help them adapt their new business flow. And that comes with helping with uptime and training and all the other business intelligence things that we really are passionate about showing dealers how to better run their business. So we like to say powered by people, driven by software. And as a small business owner myself, I know when making big investments, I need to have the right team around me to make sure that I'm maximizing these investments. Nothing is more frustrating than buying something that you don't know how to use it to its full potential. So Future Energy is really excited to help the industry as it shifts and help dealers really understand how this is going to impact their business.
I know you're passionate about being a guide. We were talking earlier, and that's really where the need is for dealers. Their infrastructure will evolve, the EVs will evolve, the chargers will evolve. It's also specialized, and certainly dealers would benefit from having an expert by their side to streamline the process and educate them along the way. Speaking of educating, the new 2024 EV charging infrastructure study just came out. It's a report that was a collaboration between Automotive News and Future Energy. I found the findings to be very valuable, especially with all of the dealer feedback on the state of their EV charging infrastructures and the ways the dealers surveyed are managing their EV investments. In many ways, these dealers operate as the tip of the spear with electrification, and there's a lot to think about. What findings within the report really resonated with you, Sam?
Um, the report was great because it really gave us insight to what dealers are really facing and the challenges. And again, like you mentioned, dealers, they are the tip of the spear, and Future Energy is very empathetic to that. So some of the things that really stuck out was the percentage of sales is growing. The study showed that the average dealer was around 12% of their monthly sales are plug-in hybrid or full battery electric vehicles. And that can be pretty disruptive. So a lot of dealers right now are self-managing their infrastructure and the charging stations to support that inventory. And some of them are finding that energy management and other business challenges are not working as well. And that's why we're really here to help and get a better understanding of how to really put them in a better position as their processes change and as electrification disrupts their business. Some of the other stats that really jumped out at me was 90% of dealers have installed at least one charger. So they've been through some sort of process. And that's good because they're starting to understand how this can be disruptive. And 28% of those dealers really didn't understand the new costs, the ongoing maintenance, the ongoing support, those types of things, maybe the ongoing increase in their operational expenses. And then 34% of dealers anticipate to install more chargers at some point. So as new products become available, they're starting to see that growth. But this really shows, the report shows, and I'm excited for people to read it, that dealers, like other business owners, they need help navigating this new process. So for us, our goal is to really help dealers take a step back and really take inventory on what they've done and where they've been, and really help put them in a position that's best for their individual dealership.
Yes. I mean, first of all, it's a great report. I think it's a must read for all dealers right now. But it's so true. So many of the findings pointed to how much new education is involved just to manage the chargers, manage the costs. So having guidance and support to enable dealers to actively take charge of their investment makes so much sense. With this focus on what happens on day two, you've got, some of the hardware, what now? It sounds like Future Energy is positioned to really help dealers navigate the expectations of OEM partners and manage their customer experiences. You really picked a great company name. It just is so fitting. It's really perfect. Tell us how you and your business co-founder arrived at this business model, and what other kinds of entrepreneurial focus areas have you had in the past?
Sure. I've always been hardwired to be an entrepreneur. And anytime I see a problem, I like to try to find the solution. So when we moved into the EV charging world in 2016, at that time, customers, especially in the Northeast, were getting free fast chargers from utilities. And when we learned about the challenges, was we had a client that called and said, we received a free charger, but nobody told me about the ongoing cost and demand charges and all these things that what we call total cost of ownership, right? So it really gave us the opportunity to say, how do we better serve our small business owners? So when you think about a dealership that traditionally was a small user of electricity, now they're being asked to be a large user of electricity, and most dealers have to have upgrade their service to industrial power. There's a lot of challenges that come in there, but what really that inspired us to really step back and think we need to offer a day two support service. So we consider ourselves to be an EV managed service provider. And we see a growing need to really help automotive dealerships with the challenges of the ongoing support, uptime, maintenance, training. So again, all of that kind of came together. And some businesses are starting to have to hire dedicated EV experts. So what we do is we offer a service with, we have a diverse range of expertise here, so we can help dealers manage their new EV energy business. And again, when you think about the different changes in process and people and priority, we're here really to help them understand how their business is evolving. Um, if you narrowed it down, really, software, consulting, and training are some of those intangibles that come well beyond just putting the EV infrastructure in the charging stations. And for me, as a small business owner, I can't stand when I can't get a hold of somebody. And I'm sure you've all had that experience with large online retailers, but it's so frustrating when you can't just get a hold of somebody to ask some basic questions, especially in a new space. So we've built a team for that, and hopefully that really sets the tone in the future for the industry.
Well, I'm betting you're getting a lot of feedback with that kind of approach to serving your customers. In fact, I know you are. I know you're getting a lot of great feedback. I know you're tracking that as well with, the experiences that your new clients are having. Responsive, knowledgeable, reliable human. Just like you said, just always having someone on the other end to help. And I think dealers know the value of that better than anyone. To wrap things up at a high level, Sam, what do you think the future holds for not only the EV charging infrastructure in North America, but the overall mindset around business planning for energy management, no matter the industry?
Again, great question. I think the way we're going to see the market shift is energy is a new business function. And for small businesses like automotive retailers, it needs a strategy, much like finance, much like HR. So we help with the strategy and process behind the planning, installation, and all of that that goes into these new technologies. EV charging is obviously the forefront, but there's other technologies that benefit small businesses like solar, battery storage, and those things. So again, even if electric vehicles are not the lion's share of the offering today, they're still becoming pretty disruptive. So as they creep up to 30 to 40% of new car sales, or that's when we really can offer a lot of value because the consumer has choices, right? So to be competitive and to make sure that they're maximizing the efficiencies, we're here to help them really navigate through that. And with our connected management experience, we kind of bundle that all together to offer, again, dealers are busy. They've got enough on their plate, and our job is to be that expert to take that to really help them guide them through this process.
I think that's a really important distinction, Sam. Seeing EVs and the energy management that comes with it as really a new business function. And therefore, it's the kind of thing you want to get right the first time if you can and work with a partner who's on the leading edge of this, like yourself. It's been great having you with us today, Sam. Now, it's a tradition to close out each episode with our 0 to 60 challenge over the next 60 seconds. We'd like to give our viewers a chance to get to know you a little better. So, are you ready for the challenge?
Sure.
Okay, question number one. What was your first job?
Oh, first job. My first job was at a family-run restaurant bar, and it is where I learned how to deliver high service excellence. Learned a lot at a very young age, and spent most of my teens there. In fact, two of my top vice presidents worked with me at that restaurant when I was 14 and 15 years old. So I feel like everybody in business should work in a service position so that they can understand how to really handle clients.
I completely agree. A great training ground for customer service. Okay, question number two. Who are the important business leaders or influencers that you follow?
Um, I would say I follow a lot of people that help me expand my mind. Being an entrepreneur, I have to think out of the box. That's how great things are done. So I love listening to folks like Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn and other business leaders like Howard Schultz, people that help me stretch my mind and really get out of the day to day and look for solutions and not just talking about the problems.
Yeah, I think those are great examples, just understanding, how they got to be so excellent just helps you grow. Okay, last question. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
There was a gentleman that told me a long time ago, he said, show up. And it took me a little time to understand what he meant. And now I know a lot of things in life, great customers, great partners, they happen because you show up. I know you can make excuses and life is hard, but if you show up, the magic happens.
Really fantastic advice, Sam. I want to thank you again for being with us today, and we will see you all next time for In the Driver's Seat.
Thank you, Emma.
Thanks, Sam.